I always wanted a son, and I'll help Emily with the child rearing, John said, his words shocking even as they discussed whether to break up with his mistress Emily, who was now in her final month of pregnancy. Are you serious? I tried persuading him time and again, but John was immovable once he'd made up his mind. I knew well that arguing was futile. Yeah, but don't worry, okay? My feelings haven't changed. I love you the most, Susan. He said this with a refreshingly honest smile. That was the moment I made up my mind. Fine, then I'll disappear. Without caring for the startled look on John's face, I stood up. He was surprised by my words, mismatched with my smile, unaware of the hellish days to come. My name is Susan. I'm 40 years old. I'm a nurse, living the life of an ordinary housewife, consumed by housework and childcare. I'd hoped for a happy marriage with John after 5 years of dating, but instead, I'm living in a continual hope for something better. John has a severe infidelity problem. In the 5 years before we got married, he cheated 24 times. After about the 5th time, my anger turned to disbelief. I thought about leaving him many times, but every time he would break it off clearly with his affair partner and come back to me. John says cheating is just part of being a man. Aren't you tired of eating bread every day? It's like that. You are my number one, but sometimes I crave something different. Can you forgive me? This was John's usual line. Every time I heard it, I would be trembling with anger, but apart from this, he truly seemed to love me. He was moderate with alcohol, didn't gamble, wasn't obsessed with cars. He dedicated most of his free time to me, was never selfish, and was understanding about my job. He cheated during the times when we couldn't see each other. I get lonely when you're not around. So thinking I wouldn't let him feel lonely, I shared more of my time with John. That's what I thought when I married him 5 years ago. Really, why can't I leave this awful man? Even I wonder. But no matter how many times he cheats, I want to be with John. I don't want anyone else. Even after being cheated on, I think I loved John. Even if everyone else mocks me, I liked all of him, even the foolish parts, because I believed he put me first. But I wonder if I was foolish to think that way because of an incident that happened. I realized John was cheating when our daughter Lisa was about to turn 9. Lisa is such a good child, always taking the initiative to help with chores. Mom's always working hard, so I want to help too. Lisa's kindness was my support. We rely mostly on my income, as I earned more than John. After Lisa was born, John was laid off due to restructuring at his company. Now he's working as a security guard. He was cooperative with household duties, and I had no particular complaints about John since then, thinking we were a happy family. Until Lisa said something shocking one day. Mom, Dad has someone he likes. It was all so sudden. After John went to work, I came home early for once. As Lisa and I were eating dinner, she dropped the bombshell. What? Lisa, what are you saying? Dad's cheating? Dad didn't go to his security job today. He went to see Emily. Wait, what? How do you know all of this all of a sudden? This, Lisa said, showing me her mobile phone screen. There, a conversation was displayed. This? Looking at the names, there was John's and another that seemed to be his lover's. I'll come see you today. You've been visiting me every day recently, John. I'm so happy we can mate. Of course. I want to spend all the time I can with you, Emily, so you don't feel lonely. Everything went dark before my eyes. I couldn't process what was happening, and Lisa added more. Mom, I didn't tell you, but Dad hasn't been taking care of things at home properly. According to Lisa, this started about 3 months ago. She'd gotten better at household chores and started taking over more responsibilities. At first, I was happy. Dad praised me when I did the chores, but gradually he stopped praising me and started going out at night, leaving me alone. Lisa's voice was trembling, and my heart ached. He always sneaks back home before you return, and he tells me to keep it a secret. I happened to see his mobile phone once. It turned out what she saw were nauseating exchanges with Emily. I didn't know what to do. I remembered from a drama I was watching that lawyers say evidence is important, so I pretended to play with Dad's phone while actually collecting evidence. With that, Lisa switched the screen and showed me the exchanges she had gathered. Some were too much for a 9-year-old to bear. How she endured all this while collecting evidence, I can't imagine. What was Lisa thinking, seeing all this? Does Dad have someone he loves more than you, Mom? Are we going to be torn apart as a family? After showing me all the evidence she'd gathered, Lisa was filled with tears. Her plea made it hard for me to hold back my own tears. I struggled to keep from crying and hugged Lisa tightly so she wouldn't notice my face. It's okay. I'm sorry, Lisa. This must have been hard for you. Mom will talk to Dad, okay? Our family won't fall apart, okay? But Dad loves Emily. Dad can't leave someone in trouble. Maybe Emily was in trouble, and he was just trying to help her by giving her support. I know it's a stretch. Even as I said it, I knew it was a feeble excuse. But I couldn't bring myself to tell Lisa the truth. I couldn't add to her pain. Mom, are we not going to separate from Dad? Will Dad come back for sure? Of course, he's your dad, Lisa. His favorites are you and me, so everything will be okay. Thank you for being so strong. Can I take a look at your mobile phone? The words I said to comfort Lisa ended up sounding like I was reassuring myself. It's okay. John will come back to me. He always has. He'll leave the other woman once the affair is discovered, just like he always does. It's just a phase. Repeating this to myself, I comforted the crying Lisa. Welcome home, I said after calming Lisa and putting her to bed. As soon as John returned, I called him to the living room. What's wrong, Susan? You look serious. Is there something you want to tell me? What do you mean? There's nothing. His blatant denial was frustrating. Listen, John, we've been through this many times before, haven't we? Can you please just be honest with me? I wish John would confess everything, but his response was shocking. What's wrong? I'm working hard and taking care of things with Lisa. What are you suspecting? His mention of doing things with Lisa made my anger boil over. How can you say that so calmly, with Lisa? You left all the household chores to her while you were out and about? Well, I had to pick up extra night shifts. Stop it. No more pathetic excuses. Lisa told me everything. At that, John's face paled. I thought you had changed, John. After we had our child, you seemed so dedicated to the family. I was grateful, really. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. Leave Emily quickly. Thinking of Lisa sleeping nearby, I couldn't let myself yell. Despite the raging anger inside me, I knew getting upset here might prevent Lisa's wish from being fulfilled. All I could do was talk calmly, but then John dropped a bombshell. I can't. His nearly immediate response froze me in place. I can't leave Emily. What are you talking about? You've always left them before, when... She's pregnant. His words brought my thoughts to a screeching halt. It's a boy, and she says it's mine. I can't abandon Emily and the baby. Wait, what are you talking about? A baby? I don't understand. I couldn't keep my voice down. The situation was too overwhelming for calm. Emily, she's a girl I met at the bar. Bright and nice. We got involved after visiting the bar a few times. She had been dumped by her awful boyfriend, and she said she was okay being second as long as she could be with me, and I couldn't refuse. While John spilled unsolicited details, I was beyond listening. What is this person talking about? Is this some dream? Could this really be happening? The situation fit the definition of escapism so well that it was impossible for me to stay calm. Emily has been helping me financially since I got laid off. In return, I gave her time and intimacy. Then she got pregnant. Pregnant? Why didn't you just end it? John seemed shocked by my question. How can you even suggest that? Ever since Lisa was born, I've understood the value of life. How can you say something like that so easily, Susan? John, what are you saying? Was he serious? Am I the one who's wrong? It was no longer possible to make a rational judgment. Abortion wasn't an option. I always wanted a son. His sheepish smile made me sick. The baby's a boy. I love you and Lisa the most, but if the baby's coming, I have to help, right? I want to support Emily until the child grows up. What are you talking about? The absurdity nearly short-circuited my brain. Not only was he planning to continue this double life, but now he wanted to support Emily's child as well? More than anger or disgust, I couldn't comprehend what was happening. I always wanted a son, so I'll help Emily raise the child. John said with a smile, as if it was the most natural thing. I knew him well enough to know that once he's decided something, it wouldn't change. Are you serious? Yes, but don't worry. My feelings haven't changed. I love you most, Susan. Fine, then I'll disappear. I returned his smile with one of my own, though it was the furthest thing from how I felt, and stood up. Huh? Disappear? Don't worry, I won't interfere with your parenting, and I'll take care of Lisa. With that, I went to my room and began packing. Huh? Wait, What do you mean, disappear? Just what I said. You'll have to be clearer. I don't understand. John's raised voice elicited a deep sigh from me. So you're not planning to end things with Emily, and you're going to acknowledge and raise the child, right? Of course, I am the father after all. Then go. I'll take good care of Lisa on my own. You mean you forgive me? John mistook my resignation for understanding, and his face lit up. There's nothing to forgive. You never listened to me anyway. You made your own decisions without considering me. And with the baby almost here, it's not like you can just end it. Right, that's it. So you understand, Susan. Yes, I understand perfectly. Now go back to your wife. Wife? Stop it. You're my wife, Susan. That girl is just the mother of the baby. With that, John hastily prepared to leave and headed for the door. I'll be going then. Oh, I'll come back when I can. Call me if you need anything, okay? Understood. After watching John leave, I woke up Lisa and took all the important documents and valuables, returning to my parents' house, to start showing John his hell. What do you mean, Susan? About a month later, John contacted me, immediately raising his voice. What do you mean? What? What's up? Our house is gone, and all my stuff was sent to my parents' house. They're in a panic. John's frantic and incoherent state was something amusing. I told you, didn't I? I'm disappearing from your life. What? But I thought we understood each other. I never took back my words. I never agreed to recognize the baby or Emily. But you said abortion was not an option. Yes, it isn't, but I never said I'd accept it. I just stopped talking because it was useless with you in that state. Finally, realizing the gravity of the situation, John babbled rapidly. What? Even so, you can't just sell our house. That's my place to return to. There's no place for you to return to in my life anymore, and I'll be taking alimony and proceeding with the divorce, just so you know. What? Divorce? Alimony? Wait a minute. That's not obvious at all. It's my child. You're my wife, Susan. You should naturally help me, right? What nonsense are you talking about? I have no obligation to take care of your child with Emily. But I've always supported you, Susan. Worked hard at home and with the kids. At that comment, all my pent-up anger exploded. Don't be ridiculous. Lisa has been the one supporting me for years, taking care of the house and left all alone. It wasn't you who supported and worked hard for me, it was Lisa. But that was because Emily was emotionally unstable. I had no choice. Enough with the lies. With that, I switched my mobile phone to speaker and sent John a WhatsApp message. Look at the message I just sent you. Message? What is this? The message contained a photo of John with another woman, not Emily. Was it fun to play around while hiding your marriage? Which number is this girl in your list of affairs? Wait, what does this mean? I hired a detective through a contact of Dad's. They dug up a lot for the divorce case. Then it all came out. I could easily find it, even with a simple internet search. All the evidence of your affairs. I'm sorry, really sorry, but please, not a divorce. It's too late. I've already initiated the legal proceedings. I knew you wouldn't agree to the divorce willingly. All future communications will be through my lawyer. I really wanted to unleash more anger, but I know that being rational in these situations inflicts a deeper psychological wound. The more emotional I got, the more it might seem I still had feelings for him. For me, this was a culmination of years of self-respect. This is a crucial conversation to cut off any lingering attachment to a cheating man. Please, Susan, reconsider. We've always managed to work things out before. Yes, we did try to work things out repeatedly. Right, so let's talk it over and start over again. Repeating the same mistakes was the real mistake. What? John seemed taken aback by my firm tone. I shouldn't have sympathized with you. I should have discarded you long ago and prioritized myself. Why would you say something so harsh? Harsh? Which one of us has the right to say that? Think about everything you've done until now. I've had to endure a lot, too. So that justifies cheating. That's absurd. Unable to retort, I imagined John's dejected posture. Marriage is about mutual tolerance and compromise, and we failed at that, so let's end this. No, I can't live without you, Susan. That's not my concern anymore. I'm not interested in the fate of a stranger. Thank you for everything until now. Please, Susan, come back. Oh, one last thing. I need to tell you. Just wait. I put the call on hold and called Lisa over. Hello? As Lisa spoke into the speaker, John, mistaking her voice for a sign of hope, desperately pleaded with her. Lisa, please. Dad was wrong. Can you convince Mom for me? Dad, can I say something honestly? I want to talk face to face, so can we video call? What? At Lisa's request, John switched to video call, where his pitiful, tear-streaked face appeared. Do you love me and Mom? Do you really love us? Of course, you and Mom are my number ones. I love you both more than anything. John, misunderstanding this as a chance, eagerly awaited her response. But Lisa, with a bright smile, yet a cold tone, continued. Mom and I think you're the most disgusting person in the world. We hate you more than anything. Lisa! Your so-called love makes me sick. I never want to hear it again. What do you mean, Lisa? I'll take care of Mom, so from now on, don't mention us or show your face. We want nothing to do with you. After saying that, Lisa abruptly ended the call and began laughing joyously. Mom, did you see? Dad's face of utter despair. I almost laughed. Lisa, are you okay with this? You didn't want a divorce before. Initially, when we returned to my parents' home, Lisa tried to reason with me, emphasizing that family shouldn't be broken so easily. But once I explained everything about John's actions, Lisa became furious. It's unbelievable. You are beautiful and kind. Why would you marry such a loser? It's such a waste. You have no eye for men. Divorce him immediately. It disgusts me. Wow, that's a complete turnaround from before. I was not only surprised by her change of heart, but also amazed at how strong Lisa had become. Make sure you never fall for such a trashy man again. I won't allow it. Holding my face in her hands and directing me to look at her, Lisa's voice cracked. Yes, I'm sorry. You deserve to be happy. Not just make others happy. You need to be cherished. Make sure you get what's owed from Emily, too. She took Dad from us. She should pay. Lisa's fierce and somewhat malicious smile shook me to my core. John attempted to contact us several times or even visit the house, but with my parents' help and the threat of police involvement, his attempts ceased. I heard through the grapevine that Emily had debts and had trapped John into a marriage and debt-filled life after our divorce. Telling Lisa this. Not enough. Make him suffer more. She smirked sinisterly. Years passed, and today Lisa is getting married. Dressed in her wedding gown, she looked so beautiful, I couldn't help but cry. Since that conversation, I reflected on my own happiness, realizing that it's not just about romance. Lisa's growth and well-being have been my greatest joy and sustenance. So I believe I will continue to live happily, with Lisa and the grandchildren and family yet to come.